We're here at the Donsvere Online launch in the Compiler Esports Arena. I'm here with Jackie Ryder. Hi, Jackie.
Hey,
And
thanks for having me here. Um,
and I'm Roger Gladhand. Jackie here is with Tabula Pausa, a very fancy and I'm sure new agey streaming service that runs reviews for various games. So we definitely want to make sure we impress her. Now, Jackie, how do you feel about being related to such an impressive figure as Estella, the spokesperson for our game?
well, I'm proud of my sister, and she's done a good job. But I mean, less about her and more about the actual, new implements that you guys added to the beta. I'm interested to talk about them.
That is a wonderful idea. I think we should go and speak with Jace Benson. He is our lead creature designer for Donsvere Online. Hi, Jace. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fairly well.
Excellent. What can you tell us about that horrid creature that you guys fought? The Night Terror, was it?
Yes, it was a lesser night terror. We programmed it to have a very distinctive fear effect. We've been working very heavily on sensory information and being able to translate that in a way that our players will be able to actually feel what's really going on in the game, as if it were reality.
Can I
Yes,
say something?
absolutely.
That was a really feature that wasn't in the beta before. So congratulations on that, and I'm pretty sure so is there other features that utilize that sensory mechanic that is now added?
Many features, and they'll be more noticeable in later areas.
All right. Excellent.
Excellent. I'm very much looking forward to that. We have a few minutes here, but I would like to turn the attention to Estella herself. Watch, she's coming down from the dais her pod was placed on. You see in the center of this arena a large, roughly rectangular box out of which steps this girl dressed head to toe as a princess. She steps down off of the dais the pod has been raised on and waves to the crowd regally. Isn't she lovely, folks? And as you see, the camera pans out to the audience and then zooms out at the big screen, and you hear cheers from everyone sitting in the stage and the arena and such. So we're gonna cut to a scene afterwards. The arena is empty. All of the people have gone, but the party members that were part of the game before, the users all are assembled in the middle of the arena talking with Roger Gladhand afterwards.
So Roger, I have a couple questions about the new features. I'm really impressed with the whole voice modulator thing we added in. I talked about that earlier before and introduced it, but it's something it's unique. It's definitely unique. And I'm sure to let other people know about it. It's as a feature. It's my user base anyways.
Absolutely. As I understand it, the feature was designed to allow you to feel more like someone else by by speaking and then sounding like someone else entirely. I really feel that it helps you transport yourself into the character even more. Immersion is
Also,
very important to us here at Pear.
Also, you guys have a little feature me personally, I'm very fond of. I think where I can sort of scan my face in and actually have a fairly accurate replica of how I look. I just wanted to tinker around with that, and I also tried to do that manually, and it came up fairly well as well. So it's something I really be impressed for sure.
Absolutely. That is a feature we wanted to include because we have a wide variety of gamers that play our game. Some of them will just want to take themselves and step into an avatar that they can relate to, and when they see a reflection, they still see themselves, mind you, garbed in wonderful plate armor or a wizard's robe with a staff sparkling with lightning. And other players just want to be someone else for a while. And so we have other features that allow them to change their appearance, change their race, and become something entirely different from what they are in life. And we want to welcome and encourage both play styles.
Nice. I started noting some stuff on my tablet, and I got a couple feeds here. One more question. One more thing. Actually, not question, but more of a statement. Started to play and noticed that the fashion within the with the armor sets and the style armor sets, it's like sort of a mismatch of like a bit of modern but also fantasy, which is so your art team, is that something they were sort of aiming for, or is it less?
So we obviously wanted to let popular trends affect and influence our decisions, so that we could have people that were more trendy and more artsy feel comfortable in our game space and not feel like they had to go with the traditional fantasy tropes. And eventually our plan for this platform is to allow people to enter whatever genre they want and just feel really connected to the internal mythos. And part of that is giving them real world anchors within the virtual space, things that they can hold on to and feel like they're still very much in a real space.
Oh, that is new. So I did. So here you have it, guys. That means we have future plans for expansions and not just sticking to one genre, but to multiple. Okay, I like that. Well, thank you for all your time and being able to answer all my niggly questions. You did a good job, Roger. You did it.
Excellent. I'm really glad. And he turns to you and he kind of, for a moment, he's not this shining personality that you've seen before this, and he's just kind of vulnerable for a moment. And he says, I don't get this VR crap myself. I am just a PR guy. I was hired by Pear years before this VR crap came into existence, or at least mainstream. And they were like, oh, we need a PR guy. But you were just like, I just do PR. And so they gave me a script and some things that they wanted to make damn sure I told you. But I don't know. It's weird. What do you get out of this? And he just looks at you genuinely, like confused, like, what's the point of doing VR?
To be honest, I think for most people it's escapism. From what I've heard, what I've searched, for the most part, a lot of people just like to, it's a large, for the most part, people work corporate jobs, wage slaving to get some money, and then eventually they come to the virtual device, go into a world where they can be the hero, where they can be something different, and they can just engage in something, I guess, more or beyond what they do. So that's one big thing. And for me, I just like to.
Absolutely, Estella. Hi, thanks for coming over.
Well, another reason why some people might like to interact when it comes to a virtual reality setting, people tend to be more themselves when they don't have to fear judgment. In a sense, sometimes when you're interacting with people in the game, sometimes you get a more honest response than you would in person.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's really insightful. Thank you. And you can tell that to an extent Roger is like fanboying, but also trying to keep it cool. Like he's quite fond of Estella, just as this like. As a PR guy, he's like, wow, this is a very brilliant person, just aesthetically, and he wants, like, he's like, man, I wish I had that much PR clout. Like, he's kind of looks at you admirably from a PR perspective. He's just like, wow, this is an actual celebrity, and I'm just, like, the Pear PR guy.
By the way, if you'd like an autograph later, I wouldn't mind.
He lights up like a Christmas tree. Like the shade of his cheeks like turns red a little bit, and he's just like, "Oh, that'd be nice." And he just like tries to say it as a flat line, and he turns for a measure of cover because he has met Jace on a couple of occasions. He kind of takes a couple steps towards Jace to give him a little bit of comfort, and he says, Jace, thanks for joining us today. I know they don't let you back end guys get out very often and speak to the public, but you gave some very useful insights today. I appreciate it.
Not a problem. I'm always glad to be here and offer as much as I can.
Absolutely, and that's all we could ask for sure. Are you planning? And he looks at the group as a whole and he says, "Are you folks planning to continue this in the future, or do you just want to make this like your thing, like a one and done promo?" Because I would be all over promoting you guys as a group. You guys trended very well on social media, and I think Pear would very much approve of an ongoing series for you folks.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, honestly. Me and my sister game all the time, so that can work out fine. And yeah, you guys really did a good job with the fights and all that. Sorry, I just went off on my own tangent before in the whole demonstration, but I want to test out the game a bit more. So yeah, I mean, we can definitely work well as a team. What are you gonna say, sis?
Well, if you guys don't mind, I mean, it'd be fun.
Well, if the devs will let me, I mean, the rest of the team, if they'll let me continue this, I'd love to. I had fun.
Yeah, so you actually gained quite a few, like you personally were a trending topic for a while during the presentation. And pause for just a second. You were the one with the blades, right?
Yes, I was the one with the dual blades there.
Okay, unpause. You did so well when you wrecked those gremlins. You were actually the talk of that 10-minute segment, and you were just really well. I think people would respond well to one of the devs playing the very game that they made. And maybe if we do interviews and such with you folks going forward, you can provide some insights that the other players may not have just because they weren't there for the creation of the game itself.
I'd agree with that, and I think you could also draw in a far larger crowd.
Definitely. I think for an ongoing thing, we're going to want a couple more players to get in the mix. I'm sure there are people that would love to play with Estella and to be part of a party like this, and I'm sure Pear would sign off on that and enjoy it. You see in the distance, because you guys are pretty much in the middle of the arena, there's the pods set up all around you where the various, where you guys were playing before, and you see a kind of no-nonsense guy come out of the edge of this arena and in towards the middle. And he says, well, they're going to be closing shop here in a few minutes. So if you guys want to continue talk, I'm going to suggest that we move towards a different venue because they really do want to clean up after everything and the festivities today.
Well, that's fine. Me and my sister have somewhere to go anyways. So
the gentleman holds out his hands to you, since his hand to you, and goes to shake your hand. He says, "I'm Grant Sylvan, head of security for Pear."
Oh, nice.
Pleasure to meet your acquaintance.
Pleasure to meet you. I've arranged to provide some security for you folks as you go home or wherever you head to next.
That wouldn't be necessary.
You say that, but you have become even more popular than you were before this event, and I think it would be useful for you to have a little bit of... It would be bad if some fanboy tried to do something unpleasant, and I think it would just be good for you to have some security with you.
Honestly, what's the worst that could possibly happen?
Okay, I don't really want... I try not to war game with clients, but the worst that could happen...
I'm not going to fight you, don't worry.
Okay, that's cool. I will try to make sure that my personnel are as hands-off as possible. You probably won't even know they're there, except that I've published that fact at this time.
Well, I just don't want to be in any trouble.
He turns to Roger and says, "Hey, Roger, go home. You did a great job." Pats him on the back. And Roger,
Oh, do you want that autograph?
Roger smiles and like turns to you and like hands you like he's just got like a notepad that he's been taking notes on during the interview and such, and he hands like he turns to a blank page and has you sign it.
I sign it. Thanks for your hard work. Love is spelled with a heart.
I say to my sister, like, damn, sis, you're taking the celebrity stuff like a Dr. Water. Shit.
No. So
Make sure to put the love is spelled with the heart.
So Roger is like beside himself and really happy at this point. He does something a little bit like odd. He steps back and then like he puts his hands together and like bows to you like they would in Japan, like as an honorific, and then like kind of walks away, which is kind of odd from this Caucasian PR guy. But he like wants to find like a more honorable way to thank you or whatever. It's a very weird. It's like it's just off-putting to see this happen. And then he takes off.
That's cute, though.
Yeah.
I guess he was grateful.
And Grant shrugs and turns around and like starts walking out of the arena, not necessarily paying attention whether you guys are following directly. But he's made it clear that he'd like you guys to clear out and head somewhere else.
All right, we should probably get going.
Yeah, definitely.
So
he doesn't wait too long.
So, you guys chat for a little bit outside, and because plot contrivance, you guys end up going to the local coffee shop, Perk, just to have some drinks afterwards. They serve alcohol there, but for the most part, it's a coffee shop. The top floor is a bookstore, actually. It's kind of like a Badalton's in that regard. Give me just a moment.
Should we describe our characters, by the way? Because this is the first time we get to the... we haven't actually... Well, I guess Thingamabob has changed out of princess costume, I think. I imagine.
Yeah.
You arrive at the Perk coffee shop and bookstore, escorted by Grant Sylvan, and you find the place empty. It seems to have been reserved by Pear, specifically so that you can have an undisturbed evening. You do see a young man standing against the wall on the far side of the room, keeping to himself for the most part. Maybe he has a handheld video game, maybe he doesn't. I kind of think he does. Yeah. And you're brought to tables, and you all sit together. Estella and Jackie sit next to each other, and across from Jace Benson, the programmer that has been responsible for designing a large portion of the game. Grant Sylvan walks up to your table. He says, "If there's nothing else you'll need, I'll be on my way. The people here are very friendly, and we have a great working relationship with the folks at Perk."
No, good. You guys got the place cleared out.
Yes, that's just for your safety. The downtown area was getting pretty crazy tonight during the event, and I just wanted to make sure there weren't any wackadoos that would create some issues for you.
Honestly, if there's going to be wackadoos,
Wackadoo is a professional term, of course, and he kind of chuckles to himself. Yeah. So he starts to walk out. Now, one thing you notice is the walls of this building are basically glass. Like, there's the structural support beams and such, but it's just windows, for the most part, all around. And he starts to head out. A couple minutes later, a barista walks up. She doesn't necessarily have a tray of food in her hand, but she definitely comes up to take your order. She says, "Hi, I'm Clarissa. May I take your order today?"
Yeah, I'm gonna have... do you want to say something, sis?
no, you go first.
Okay, so
She chuckles a little bit.
Banana smoothies.
Banana smoothies. That's wonderful. I'll get that. And she just jots it down. And she says,
By the way, remember,
If you want some food, we have some available from the kitchen. We can go get.
I will have. What do you guys have on menu actually?
I mean, mainly it's just small things: grilled cheese, chicken tenders, some of the more generic items that you would get at another place. I can get you a menu if you want.
I'll have some grilled cheese. There's three of them. I'll have some chicken. I'll have my guys just goes on a long list with lots and lots of food really.
Yeah, and she mentions like one of the things that she hits. She's like, "Well, we don't have fritters, but maybe you could take some hash browns instead." And she writes down and jots down the notes.
Yeah, a big box of hash browns would be good.
Awesome, happy to do so. And she turns to Estella, and you.
Could I have a grilled latte?
You could, but I didn't hear you very well. And she leans towards you to hear you better. Your mic was cutting out.
Can I get a green tea and a grilled cheese?
A green tea and a grilled cheese? Absolutely. I will be back with that. And she starts to turn and then realizes she's completely forgotten Jace's order. And so she turns back to Jace and she says, "And can I get anything for you, sir?"
Wow.
Chicken tenders and a black coffee.
Yeah, of course. Chicken tenders and a black coffee it is. And she writes it down and she starts to head out. She goes...
He's a bit unique.
So you were really good in the game.
Thanks, so were you.
Yeah, the game's alright. Could do with just a couple improvements here and there, but for the most part, you guys are on the right track, I would say.
Well, I'm glad you think so.
Hey, my character glasses down to the other end of the coffee store. Don't I recognize that guy from somewhere? Doesn't he go to your high school, sis?
Let's invite him over.
Hmm?
I'm going to walk over.
So you see your idol start walking towards you, Austin.
Hi.
Austin?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, so Estella starts walking toward you.
I know. She's
Hi.
just playing a game, and now she's just really shy.
Okay. So you get really close, like 10 feet away from him or so, and he's still like just kind of like. You see that his posture gets a little bit more closed, so he's hunching down a little bit more and like paying very close attention to the handheld in his hand, like almost to the point of actively trying to ignore you. At least that's how it comes across. Angel?
What game are you playing?
Just any random racing game that in the world.
I think she's asking your character.
Yeah. But I don't know if you would use actual games in the real
Oh, okay. No, it's fine. Yeah.
It'd be any random like popular racing game.
Yeah, you're always welcome to like make stuff up when it comes to titles and stuff like that. I'm sure that'll come up from time to time for us.
I don't know names for games.
You don't need to. That's fine what you said. I was just letting you know that it's okay to ad-lib if you desire in the future.
Okay.
Cool. So he's playing the any random racing game. Waffle.
Would you like
Got two over here.
us out of... You have plenty of room.
You cut out Angel.
Would you... Okay, here, let me fix... Is that better?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, would you like to join us at our table? We have plenty of room.
Do you want to play with me?
Sure, I'd love to.
In his mind, his like, it's just like, imagine like a bunch of dudes that look like him in his mind, and he's just like high-fiving himself. It's like, yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you did it.
But he's still like, body language is closed, yet his mind is like awesome.
Does
Sweet.
You might need to show me how to play. I don't play a lot of racing games.
It's pretty simple. Do you know that old classic? It's like the kart game.
zoom zoom whiz whiz?
Wow. What?
You mean Zuma Mania?
Yeah. It's like that. It just
I
has
remember
more.
watching my sister play it.
Yeah, it just has more power-ups and different characters.
Okay. Oh, let's get a shot. I go ahead and play the game with him.
That's cool. You become acutely aware of her proximity and such, as she's like, I assume you only have like the one handheld device, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, I mean, if you want to, that's fine. It's just...
Well, I probably would have one on hand.
Oh, you just have like it's like your pistol. Everyone in this world has like a
It's a handheld.
a portable
It's
hand.
kind of like a phone.
Think about it this way.
It's an app, yeah. Gotcha. I'm cool with that.
I sit right next to him.
Cool. So like maybe you pull up a chair or whatever because he's propped up against the wall.
Yep.
Cool.
By the way,
He ended up
dude,
winning.
GM, you did get it wrong. The YouTuber is the person I watched a lot.
Oh, I'm the worst. Okay, never mind about that. I'll correct that.
But she's probably a popular kid at school.
Right, that makes sense.
So.
I will try to be less bad. Okay. So you sit and play for a while.
He already knows on the cover art.
Yep. On the other side of the room, you have Jackie and Jace sitting across the table from each other, diagonally, mind you, and there might be a kind of an awkward silence for a moment.
Yeah, I mean,
Definitely.
and she's like, so, she just asks more questions about the game. So, when Roger alluded to more expansion in terms of genre and stuff like that, what are you guys looking to expand towards? Sci-fi, westerns?
There's no direct plans at the moment, but we're keeping everything in possibilities.
Nice stuff. So, what do you do besides programming? You do anything?
Well, I game on occasion, of course.
Of course, stand stuff. Yeah. Do you browse on tablet browser quite a lot?
Not really.
Well, if you ever find yourself there, let's check out this channel. Yeah, let's promote this shameless plug to my channel.
So you hand him like a business card or the future analog. You ping his phone.
I literally just like open up my tablet and it's like show give him show him a list of thumbnail videos. The thumbnails of my videos.
Cool.
Personally, this one does fairly good content. To say so myself. But yeah.
I am going to roll something at this point. Give me a moment.
Okay.
You hear a very loud sound from outside. It sounds like maybe a car backfired or something. And then you hear shattering windows. The west wall of the Perk coffee shop, the one panel of the wall just shatters and it sprays glass on the floor almost at your feet. And on the far wall, right next to where Estella is sitting, you see a hole in one of the support pillars.
What the hell?
Yeah, I run straight towards my sister saying, "You right, sis?"
Yeah, I think so.
And I
Chase
turn
is
to
visibly shaken. He just kind of sort of tucks back a little bit, just like, holy crap, what just happened?
Austin and I say, "You right, kid?"
I'm fine. Big fan, by the way. I love your vids.
Oh wait, it's you. You're the one. Oh my god, how can I forget? You've been following my stuff for quite a while, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
I'm only like
You
the
hear-
third biggest.
You hear more pop sounds. These are a little bit softer, like maybe a pistol would make. And,
I believe it's time to go.
I'd have to agree with you.
Yeah. As I start running, I pull out my phone and start calling the authorities.
I pull out
Yeah.
my wooden baton.
before you can even get 911 on the phone, Grant Sylvan comes back in and he says, "We need to go. We have a car waiting for you to escort you to a secure location."
But we have something.
More gunfire outside.
Let's just get out of here.
Shoot me?
I have no idea.
Let's get going.
Okay, so they he
Another tranquil situation again.
a what situation?
Another tranquilizer gun situation.
Tranquilizer. How did that happen?
A near kidnapping. A almost kidnap attempt.
Oh man. So he ushers you all into a limousine that they have out front, a black limousine, and there are cars in front and behind it, and he gets in the passenger side of the limousine you're in and rolls down the panel. "We need to get out of here. I will explain everything. And next week I will."